right. They could see us. They could hear us. Hi, Adventures of Lollygagging. We're back playing Vaesen again tonight. This is part 3 of possibly 4 of our kind of original mystery, the wreck of the Elsa Olofsson. So let's get some plugs out of the way, and then we'll hit a kind of a recap, and then we'll get going. So this week you can catch the Lollygagger stuff tonight. Obviously, every Monday we got stuff on this channel, but also on Thursdays, every Thursdays over on twitch.tv/Zweihander-RPG. You can catch myself and Chuck tomorrow night over on Grim and Perilous Plays on Twitch as we play some Aliens, so other Free League games. Yeah, there's other things, but everybody else has stuff to plug here. So Bert, tell us about the podcast.
Podcast is of Steam, Steel, and Murder. You can find it at bluemagic.com, BLUMAGIK. Lots of good role-playing goodness there. And check out the Notorious DMG on Twitch and YouTube.
Yeah, we just played a great Shadowrun game last night. So yeah, nice ongoing thing. Chuck, what you got going?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, tomorrow night's Aliens. Wednesday night over on Defenders of Cobalt, you can find some of us here playing some Mutant Crawl Classics. We'll get back to a Fallen Star for All. Friday, I'll be back on Zweihander, continuing a Bitter Harvest. Saturday, we're back on Goodman Games for more Danger Strangers. But the important thing is we have a zine. And it's still on sale for 50 cents on Drive-Thru-RPG.
I think
and it's the best zine you'll ever read. So you should go buy it. Dan dies in the end.
Yeah,
there it is.
Links in the chat, previews on the screen. We got a couple people's faces getting covered up by it. It's okay. It'll be gone in a second.
All right.
It's good. They can see me. They can see you.
I mean, we got Joe for a bonus. It's great.
Yeah,
so, yeah,
we're good.
All right. So yeah, 50 cents. Links in the chat. Go buy it. This is awesome stuff.
Go buy it.
Yeah. All right. And Jeremy, you have something to plug.
That's true. If you like listening to old nerds talk about comic books, you can go to the Plewdcast, PLEWD. Yeah, we've gone over Batman Contagion, Ninja Turtles Urban Legends. Next up, we're prepping to do Next Wave, which is a hilarious run from several years back. It'll be a good time.
Yeah, right on. And I dropped links. I started adding in some of those Nightbot commands so everyone can drop your stuff. You can go back and see which ones are associated with you. So just anytime you want, just pop them in. Everyone's got access, which is probably a mistake, but whatever. But all of you have access, so that's all that matters. But all right, let's get started. Let's recap. So we're on. This is again episode 3, session 3 for the newest mystery, the wreck of the Elsa Olofsson. What do y'all remember?
Last night,
we went to the house, met the wife.
Yeah, we went to Caius' house last week, and his wife. Caius was in a little bit of trouble.
Awkwardly sat through some arguments between the two of them.
Yeah.
That implies it was two-sided.
Yeah, he was just getting talked to the whole time.
We sat through a berating, just a one-sided berating.
And you learned another interesting fact about her is that she herself is Vaesen, right? Like you kind of saw some strange. First, you saw her as like an elderly woman, kind of a hefty, ugly, kind of haggish looking type. And then when you got back to suddenly she was young and beautiful and still had little bits and pieces of like bark on her skin, I believe was what Jeremy said. So we met a little bit of Caius's family. What else do we recall?
Somebody's missing from that household.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. Miriam, you're like the housekeeper lady that you had left to keep an eye on her while you were away at Uppsala solving mysteries and stuff. Yeah. She is apparently missing. You alarmed her sister when you went to talk to her because she didn't realize her sister was missing, but now she does. So there's that. What else? What about the central mystery? Like, what do we recall about that?
We got on a boat.
So we got permission from the constable to go investigate the boat.
Yep.
And then when we got on the boat, everything kind of, all sorts of crazy stuff was found. We are now certain that we are hunting down werewolf pirate astronauts.
Mm-hmm. It all checks out.
But yeah, We found claw marks, fur, blood, a couple bullet shots in like the captain's chair.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Um,
Also, some punctures and stuff like that on the side, as well as some grappling
Yeah.
hooks. They
Yep.
don't have
Mhm.
jetpacks, at least. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
thank goodness.
Yeah. I mean, and you all are confident that it's a werewolf. Like you between Gunner's experiences in the past, between the little bits and pieces that you were able to collect, you're confident that Vaesen was involved. You're not entirely like you didn't sense that there was anything on the boat itself, like the actual barge, whether or not like there was any magic, because you didn't sense any magic there, but you definitely sensed the presence of Vaesen. Let's see what else. Yeah, and then we Dogmoore and Sigrid had a little bit of a run-in with an old friend, sort of. Do you remember that? Do we call that Sigrid?
Yeah, I denied that he was standing like 10 feet behind me.
Yeah.
And I tried to
Yeah. What's your name now? What'd you switch your name to?
Rubitega.
I keep wanting to call you Rutabaga, but Rubitega.
That's what it was. I just switched the letters in Rubitega.
Yeah.
But it sounded
Awesome.
fun.
So we were talking to Joseph,
Yes, Joseph Cedar.
and he was saying that he's been kind of keeping an eye out with Hurston,
Yes.
who is the son of the
Of a person who was mysteriously killed.
yes.
A few years back. Like just no one's like there were some leads over who that might be, but it was very confusing. And so Hurston was sort of taken in by Joseph, like a kind of a. Joseph's an older guy. He's in his 50s or so, pushing 60. He's he doesn't have a family himself, so he kind of took him in.
Yep.
But
And
Hurston's like a
unfortunately-
teenager. He's like a 16, 17-year-old kid.
Yep. And Hurston decided that he wanted to join the regiment.
That's
So,
true. That's true.
Hurston is now part of the regiment.
And the regiment is like this gang that is just taking over, just like kind of pushing out. What's the name of your gang? The Volhan gang, like pushing out that and others from Karlstad. So because Karlstad is up the lake from where you all are at. So that's about it. That's about good enough for the summary. So we'll start. We had just finished the barge, just finished the scene with Sigrid and Dogmoore and Joseph, and you all were returning to town middle of the afternoon. Still just a couple hours of sun left to do some stuff if you want. But you make your way back to town, and I imagine along the way, maybe you're talking about next steps. So what are we thinking for next steps?
Tricky, because I know we don't have much of a actual trail on our werewolves per se.
I will say, I think I might actually have a decent way to follow where Miriam is, and there's a chance that she's being followed by one of them.
Okay.
Okay.
I think we had some conversation with the main storyline of possibly trying to run a boat and see what we could actually see out on the water. See if we can find the scene of the crime, so to speak.
So another thing we could think of is if we think we're going to be coming against not robots.
Oh my God.
It's actually not going to be robots. They're not going to be robots.
It's a
werewolves.
possibility.
My bad.
Robo werewolves.
This is all just a simulation.
Pirates.
Yeah, if we're going to be coming against werewolves, maybe we should try and see if we can learn something about what to do when we find them.
That
Do
is
they also like
true.
apples?
They do. They do not have apples. An apple fetish.
In every mystery,
Yeah.
we're going to ask, though, just in case.
Yeah. So one of the ways it kind of works is that you get a learning test, right? And that establishes like what's the baseline knowledge for the group for that Vaesen. And so like you get it once, and that's that. Doesn't mean you can't find knowledge elsewhere and like add to what you. And you guys only got kind of like really some rudimentary bits. But there's but in terms of how to fight one, kill one, deal with one, that kind of stuff, you guys haven't actually really learned that yet.
Okay.
Did we ever want to revisit the one survivor now that we have more info and what happened, to maybe try and get some more pointed questions out of him, or was he pretty useless? Like,
Gosta Helkvist was the name, kind of a 30-something-year-old vice president of a family hauling company, and he seemed pretty messed up, and like he seemed to sort of, now that you've got this evidence for the werewolf stuff, like, but looking back in context, like glowing eyes, claws, all teeth, it seems to kind of line up. Whether or not you can get something out of him is entirely up to you guys. And
Yeah.
The only thing we didn't know when we talked to him the first time was the whole gunshot thing. That's the new thing that we now know that we didn't know the first time.
Who shot who or didn't shoot who? Not sure which exactly.
Yeah.
And, personally jumping to conclusions here, I would be curious to see if there's some relation between this new gang and this werewolf activity. I mean, a highly aggressive new gang snatching up territory. I mean, it sounds like a new wolf pack rolled into town. So that would be, I don't know, maybe talking to them might be something to do.
You do have a lead on them. You know that, the name, their name, their leader's name, and you know that their kind of headquarters, or where they hang out the most, is actually up in Karlstad, on the docks, in a bar called the Rustwater.
Yeah.
So you do have leads for that. It would require traveling there. You could travel there tonight, to this afternoon, and get there probably before the sun went down. You could also just maybe wait in the morning and get a train, and it'll be a super quick, super train ride.
So could double down on our proposed boat adventure.
That's fair too. Yeah.
That is, yeah.
So we already wanted to take a boat. Maybe we could just go there.
Keep going when we get to the middle of the scene.
Yeah, you can do that too. I think you guys had also mentioned looking, like getting the boat, seeing what you find, especially along the coast, seeing if any bodies had started to wash up or anything like that from the attack. So, okay.
And the teenager kid is in Karlstad, right?
Hurston? Yeah. You know that Hurston and Joseph live in Karlstad. Joseph did say he hasn't really been able to spend much time with Hurston lately. Hurston's been doing the gang thing, and Joseph is really just scrambling to find any kind of work, because it's hard to get work, because any kind of labor, dock work kind of stuff is just taken. It's like the regiment wants it, they take it, and anybody who doesn't give it to them, suffers the consequences. And so they're kind of getting squeezed out, which is why he's down here doing the kind of the Helkvist reclamation there, because it was a gig. So, but you got a couple hours. We'll say you've got maybe 3 hours more of daylight. If there's something you want to do, we'll say you've reached town, you've reached Kristenham, and at this point, wherever y'all want to go to continue the investigation. What are we thinking?
Do you want to head over to the other bar?
Yeah.
Could do that.
Doesn't hurt to ask.
Take a boat trip, or?
Well, if we're going to take a boat trip, if we've only got you said 3 hours a night?
We'll say about 3 hours. Yeah, 3 hours of
probably tomorrow.
Yeah, let's first thing in the morning. Maybe some of us go check out the bar, and maybe some of us can go secure a boat for first thing in the morning.
So I just want to be clear, the bar is in Karlstad. So it's where you would be taking
okay.
To. Yeah.
Yeah, that's I was talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we can go back to the house before it gets dark and scary, and then we have to take conditions.
That might be nice. If we did that, it's a little selfish, but there might be a woman running for her life in the forest. It might be nice to try and
we could investigate that. Yeah.
Go wandering in said forest.
Yes.
Yeah. But
then she won't be running for her life alone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wasn't there a map? of connecting points?
So to speak, yes. It makes sense in its own fashion.
How long ago did she go missing?
2-3 days.
It's been several days. It's hard to pinpoint exactly because she was staying with Ina, but the sister assumed that she was just working, and so the exact amount of days, but it's definitely been a few, at least, maybe even up to a week.
Okay. I was just trying to figure out if there was a correlation between what happened on the ship.
Well,
It's that you guys were able to figure out. It was she did seem to the last time that Ina saw her was before the shipwreck.
Yeah,
Okay.
and Ina usually has a good sense about things around the house, so to speak. And she said she felt something around there. And Miriam's just the sweetest lady. I would feel terrible if something happens to her because I asked her to help take care of my family. So
Clearly, anything that happens to her is your fault.
I wasn't going to put it out there like that. But.
oh, I guess
we said it.
Huge workers' compensation claim coming, I think.
Oh boy. I'm glad I bought myself up to filthy rich then with my last level up.
There it is.
Who needs skills when you have money?
So the other thing you all, because I know you're interested in learning about werewolves and such, and there's, obviously there's ways to do that. I mean, finding people who are knowledgeable, you guys don't actually have like the bird thing. There's like a bird I think you can do where you can access the library and such. You're not that far away from Uppsala, so someone could dedicate a day to going back to Uppsala and like hitting the library and such. That's another option. You could consult with
Go
Ina.
ask the game what they know about werewolves.
No,
Get it from the source.
The gang, I think could be werewolves.
Yeah.
So, okay. So if the plan's to go back to the manor, and you want to do that before night falls, you could start leaving now if you wanted, unless there was any last things you wanted to do in town.
Do we have to procure a boat still?
Yeah, that would be my only.
Yeah. Have that ready to go for the morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
So, so what you're basically doing now is you're trying to shop during the mystery, and so the way that works, there's a little handout. I'll show to the players here. But what you're basically doing, it's just a normal purchase. This is like you're going to get a fixed price. So you do the resources roll. So you don't have to worry about doing a manipulation test or anything like that because the person's willing to do it for a reasonable price. So you can do that. And you can also burn capital to remember to get those extra successes. So does Filthy Rich Man want to roll some resources to try to figure out how much you have access to?
Yeah, sure. I'll do that.
Okay. So roll a number of dice equal to the amount of resource score you have, which you said just was increased.
Yeah, so it's 8. I don't know if the +5 applies if it's just rolling just for the...
No, the +5 bonus is for something else. So
Gotcha.
You would just roll whatever your resources score is.
Trying to find a good way. So RD, how do I tell it how to do? Oh, there we go.
There's the other little buttons and stuff down there now too. You can.
I found it now. I'm slow.
I wonder is the resources thing not clickable on the sheet? They should do that. They should make that change. All right. So I'm looking up. I had it last week, and I'm trying to find it again. But there was an option for trainer boat is going to cost 3, so you're going to need 3 successes. And again, you can burn capital to get extra successes.
Resources looks clickable.
I thought it was.
It grays when you hover over it.
Yeah, just click on resources on your character sheet and see if that works.
Okay, well, I will do that then. I apologize.
It's all good. No worries.
All right, resources. There we go. And wow.
Whoa.
Okay. Now
That is a shocking number of empty squares.
That's a lot. You have a lot of money, and no, it does.
Your money is no good here.
Wait.
Wow.
That's more than you probably should have, actually.
I put it, maybe
8, 10, 12.
It put a bunch of zeros in there, so I just typed in 8.
Okay, yeah. I think you rolled 16. You can burn 3 capital.
I gave all my capital to the team.
Okay, so other people can burn 3 capital. You can
Sorry.
and you can combine to do this, but you need a total of 3 capital. And
I have 2.
Okay, so that's 2. 1.
I have 0.
Can someone else?
Dan, you have 1?
Yeah, it's a group thing. You
Is
can
this
combine.
just like a resource check? Like, can anyone make that resource?
You can make the resource check, yeah, if you want.
Okay.
The burning capital is just like automatic success. Is all it is.
Okay.
So
I think I got.
Dan only got 1 resource.
I
You got a resource?
All right, I'll roll resources.
It's all man.
What in the world?
Hey.
Okay, so that and with Anders's 2 capital
Finally.
would give you 3, and that's enough to acquire the services or to acquire a boat, like to rent a boat for use tomorrow. And so before you leave town, you make arrangements with somebody. You probably head back to the Floundering Lad, ask around, see who's there, and you find a boat big enough for all of you, big enough for your dogs, I guess. I guess you're bringing your dog.
Of course we are.
Seems ludicrous, but whatever. Let's do it. And then
You can always leave them with Ina. Leave some of them with
That's
Ina.
true.
Well, I've been muted. I feel like if I don't want to be a dead giveaway to who I am there, I probably shouldn't bring the pack of dogs this time.
Okay.
Nice.
Dog less.
There you go.
New name.
Yeah. Or doggone.
Dog. Oh, ooh. There you go.
Okay.
That's Brendan level right there.
That's
I
pretty
think.
terrible. I feel guilty for saying that. All right, so you've got the services of the boat for tomorrow, and unless there's something else, you can head back to Ina's, and that'll be that. Yeah. Okay. You managed to get back before nightfall. So like right as the sun's going down, you kind of reach the edge of the forest. You can see the manor itself. You don't suffer any kind of ill effects being in the dark, hearing howls, that kind of stuff. And when you arrive, you don't see Ina. She doesn't appear to be anywhere. In fact, Caius.
Oh, okay.
The entire place is empty.
I'll search around to see if there's a letter or something or.
Okay. Sure. We'll say. I mean, was she reading right? Was she reading right? Would you have taught her to read and write? Because it's not going to be an innate skill for her, I would imagine. It's something that she would have gone to school for.
I mean, maybe. I don't know if it's like her thing. It's definitely Caius's like main thing. So
Yeah.
I would say there's a pretty decent chance.
Okay. Yeah, I think that makes sense. So yeah, there's a note that said basically saying something's wrong. I'm heading, I'm finding a safer spot, and you would conclude that's probably somewhere in the forest. She just feels a little safer there. Yeah, and she again references like that strange feeling, like there's something aberrant, something it's not supposed to be there. So she's like, and she mentions, "Think I'm being watched."
That's very unsettling.
And there's a
I'm
heart.
just gonna- Oh, well, that's nice.
Okay.
Gotta look for whether there's a heart on the note or not. Tells you where you're at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not mad. You don't get the sense that she's mad. You just get the sense that something unsettled her, and she feels more comfortable in her forest than she does in the home.
That's fair. She has a good instinct for things. So okay.
So as you watch the color come back to Caius's face, is there anything you're looking to do this evening, or we want to fast forward to the morning?
Did we feel like meandering in the forest a little bit, or are we calling it a night?
That sounds dangerous.
It does.
Does.
I mean,
But-
if we don't want danger, we just stay in the castle in Uppsala.
You probably would have never
Okay.
gone to the castle in Uppsala.
On one hand, I like to think that most people are probably going to survive a few days in the forest with a werewolf chasing them. But then again, it sounds like they also kind of enjoy taunting their prey and kind of feed off of the fears. So maybe it's intentionally letting this person run scared. So maybe
be.
she is still alive.
But running for 2 to 3 days to a week, that's extreme.
I know.
I mean, either I'm going to put it out there, they either have her, whoever they is, or sadly, she is expired.
She's an ex-housekeeper.
Oh,
House
Oh.
kept her.
Monty Python.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. Okay.
so,
So-
are we voting for a safe evening in? I take it.
All right. So
Call it a night.
Yeah.
call it a night.
Yep.
Cooler heads prevail, and you take a nap, or not take a nap, just go to bed. Find the places you were assigned last night, and morning comes without issue. Couple howls in the night, but nothing too bad. But yeah, you wake up, feel fresh and such. A little overcast. You hear a little bit of thunder early in the morning. Oh, thank you for those bits, Dustin. Appreciate that, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for those bits.
So yeah, it's a little overcast, a little bit of thunder early in the morning, might rain a little bit, but otherwise it's a nice morning. You look around, Ina's not returned. Are we heading back and getting on that boat, or are you doing something here and looking for Ina or Miriam, or splitting the
Yeah,
party?
I feel like we boated up since we already went to the trouble of getting the
I
boat.
mean, that
If Caius is leaving his pregnant wife meandering in the woods alone, I mean, I suppose what are the rest of us to say?
Yeah, I was like-
Sounds like a family problem.
I
Best to stay
really,
out.
really
Ah.
would leave
I'm
that
just-
in Caius's
Mm.
Yeah, that's fair.
Maybe I should just go wander off by myself in the forest.
I mean, that's an option.
It's not a good option.
I think splitting up is perfectly reasonable in Vaesen in certain cases, in certain situations. Makes sense, especially when there's 6 of you.
yeah.
All right, so if that's the case, you begin to trek back to Kristenheim in the morning. Get some food, etc. You make it back. You seek out the guy who you had reserved the boat with. You get the boat and you hop on the water. And by mid morning, you are on the lake. There's again the cloudy skies, but doesn't seem bad. It's springtime, so it's a little cool breeze on the lake. But who's rowing?
Oh, it's a rowboat.
Figured.
Not it.
Yeah, there's no. What did you think you were getting? there's no offboard motorboats in 1830 something, whatever this is.
Fully staffed crew.
I know that, but I didn't think about it.
Yeah.
You give
I'll
Dogmoore
help out.
those oars, and we'll be there maybe tomorrow.
All about rhythm, right?
Yeah.
Who's gonna beat the
Jürgen's
drum?
Now much less excited about his boat, right?
Yeah, I will say that I'll someone's gonna have to be rolling some force tests for this just to see how tired they get with that. Is what I'm asking. I'll take 2
We
people.
could trade off. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'd use 2 of us.
Yeah.
And
I'm okay.
Is everybody good at force?
I've got 4 in physique and 1 in force. So
I have no
Okay.
force, but I have a decent physique.
Okay,
You know,
cool.
okay.
I have
We won't do it right off the
2 and
bat.
0.
We won't do it right off the bat, but we'll do it probably before
But
you
maybe
all
Dogmoore
finish.
is going to have to step up to do some work.
Okay, so is the plan to see? You're an 89-year-old man. I would hope the group doesn't force you to row the boat here.
Might.
How do you think he's made it to this age?
It's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
He's got a 3 in physique and 1 in force.
Train the dogs to do it. Just bite the boar and push forward and back.
Get it, boys.
Made you twice as good as me.
So are you gonna scout the shoreline, like kind of on your way up? Is that the
I can do that
idea?
with my binoculars.
I think that was the idea.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Whoever, so I would say go ahead and roll a vigilance test, Dogmoore. You can use your binoculars. And I'll say, maybe one other person can be a lookout here. So there can be 2 of you are scouting, 2 of you are rowing, 2 of you if you have any dogs with you or keeping the dogs settled. So Dogmoore will be one with binoculars if somebody else wants to take up the second vigilance test.
Trying to double check. I thought binoculars were +2 bonus.
I can do that. I can do that other vigilance test.
Binoculars are +2 when used from a distance, which this would qualify.
There we go. I must have keyed it in wrong. I had it as a 2 bonus.
Mm-hmm. You can drag it over too. It's in the item.
Yeah, but I got it. I got it sorted out now. So let me. And because I picked a trait, I can ignore my negative stats.
Okay.
Vigilance tests specifically.
Perfect.
So
you are well prepared for this then.
Oh my gosh!
But you're still Dan, so.
But I'm.
Do you want to push that?
No.
And you're lucky you won't have to, as Anders is able to with 2 successes.
I correct you. You were holding the binoculars the wrong direction.
I was about to I'm an old man after all.
So you all are rowing up. You're going kind of the northernly up the coastline a bit, leisurely going towards Karlstad while also perusing, and looking for anything. You pass the barge. Having not seen anything up to the barge, you can still see the camps and such are still situated the way they've been. Hey, Brendan, how's it going? And I would say probably about a half an hour goes by after passing the barge, and Anders, you notice like a whole mess load of birds that are just covering this rock, these little rocky bits. And as you steer, whoever's doing the driving, the pilot, and steer the boat over, you can see that there is unfortunately a pretty bloated and half-eaten, half-torn up body of a poor, unfortunate soul. And you can see, and this little islet is maybe about 30 feet or so from shore. And you can see that this huge flock of birds over top of it. And you also see on shore itself in the more sandy area, another body has like a partial body has washed up as well. So you find 2 within probably about 100 feet of each other.
I would definitely want to point that out to the group and then see if we can go ashore, do a closer investigation of our soggy friends here.
Yeah.
Rowing toward the shore.
Sure. Okay. So you want to go to the one on the shore? Okay.
Yeah.
So you pull the boat up into the shore, hop out. You can see that it's been in the water for a little while, but it looks like it's also, so it's kind of a bloated piece. But there's a few limbs missing. Huge gashes and claws on the remaining bits of the torso. Looks like something was chewing on it too, like little small nibbles, like maybe something in the lake also got to it.
Yeah.
So, Yürgan, you're a doctor, right?
That is a thing that I do.
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and roll a medicine test?
I can do that.
It seems like it makes perfect sense. I do feel a little bad, Jeremy. I really do. Just a little bad.
No, you shouldn't.
We should totally take pictures of these bodies also.
Okay.
Yeah.
And sell them
bad idea.
on the black market.
Yeah.
Or use them as evidence and
We
send,
can take the pictures, give it to
Mhm.
some shadow runners,
There we go.
or that.
and then
Yeah.
frame them.
All right.
Exactly. Because
Well,
clearly
see.
the framing has to happen.
Not
Oh,
Oh, it is
jeez.
precision.
That's 3. Yeah, medicine's precision.
Yeah.
Okay, 3 successes.
Nice.
You could tell, obviously, that a lot of these small little nibbles are post-mortem. You can tell that it looks as though one of the arms was ripped out of its socket. Like when you inspect the actual wound, it wasn't cut neatly. It was just like torn, and you can see all sorts of tissue damage.
Were beat with their own arm?
No, it doesn't. Likely the killing blow. It looks to have been some kind of claw or bite mark. Actually, with 3 successes, I'll just say it. You have a big clamping of a bite mark on the back of the person's neck, and you can see parts of the vertebrae have like splintered upward. And let's see, 3rd success. I mean, you can tell that there's a little clothing left here and there, and they definitely look like they've got sailor garb on, the little bits like slickers and such, something like that, like some kind of suspenders keeping up, like waterproof pants or something that are still somewhat intact.
I do want to note where the bodies are in our map book.
Sure.
For easy reference later.
Yeah, no problem. And I'll say with the 3rd 6, I mean, like you rolled so well. If you take time to go look at the other one, you see a lot of the same stuff. This one seems to have been bifurcated, just sort of like ripped in half. It almost, and you're not sure, but you think it might be possible that maybe like the kind of there was like a tug of war situation going on.
Oh no!
And so you're seeing
that could be me in the future.
You're so dark.
Wonderful.
But yeah,
it looks like they played a game of tug of war with him and he lost.
No, that's just the day he forgets to feed his dogs. It's not even dealing with the werewolves.
Yeah.
So no bullet holes in either
not
of
in
these 2 bodies?
No, not in these. Yeah, I feel like at some point you all are going to go on like a mission without Dogmoore, and you're going to come home and he's going to have been dead for like a week, and his dogs are going to be eating him by the time you get back.
Oh, no, that's cat nature, man. Dogs don't do that. Cats will eat your face, not dogs.
No, it is a cat.
Gosh, cats.
Yeah.
I had a cat when I was like 16, tried to eat my sister had 3 cats. She brought them home from college, and this is where my concern of cats began. I was like 15 or something. I woke up at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and there was a cat sitting on my chest, its face right in my mouth, stealing the breath as it was going into my mouth. I just assumed it was trying to murder me. So
it's just like what they do to babies.
Good old T-Bone. That was T-Bone. That's his name. Anyway,
definitely
trying to absorb your soul.
I think so. I'm pretty sure
how it works.
They do that.
So. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't screw with them because I feel like they're smarter than I am. All right, so you go ahead and you got your clue. You get all this information. It's confirming things that you've seen before, and you can probably conclude now that they were these bodies were gnawed on a little bit too. Like they were chewed on a bit, not just by something underneath the water, like little bits and fish and whatnot, but something else. And likely at this point you would think that the bodies made it over one way or the other, or maybe into the bellies of some things here and there. But there's still a ton of flesh left, so it's not like they just ate everything. It just looks more like they
clean or something.
Yeah, it might be more of like they used their their teeth, but they didn't necessarily with the intention of feeding. It was more just using as a weapon, and there's just bite marks and so.
Yeah, it seems like they're more killed to be.
Yeah,
they ripped
for the sake of killing instead of.
Yeah, I think you would probably be able to conclude that, Jürgan. Like this looks more for this like just brutal murder for the sake of brutal murder, as opposed to an animal guy trying to get food. So do we continue up the shoreline?
Are we snapping pictures before we go? Maybe mark. Do we have a?
They
map
are any of their like pockets or clothes intact that they would have identifying or items on them?
They have a patch on their work shirt that says like,
I'm Steve.
Yeah.
I mean, not
tattoos, really. Anything on them that
I love my mom.
We'll say because yeah, I mean, because again, 3 successes. You do notice a little tattoo, and Dogmoore and Sigrid, when you take a look at it, you recognize the tattoo.
Oh no.
probably have one yourselves somewhere hidden on your person. We won't say where.
Possibly.
You're gonna make us decide what it looks like
Yeah.
on the spot.
No, it's fine. It's probably like a dog bone or something. I don't know.
That's exactly what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
There's like a derpy looking dog
It's a
face.
derpy looking dog.
Two artists isn't that good.
Okay, so you took some pictures. You probably got everything you could out of this.
Yeah, Anders, you said you made a note in the map book, like where these are located.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Hop back in the boat and continue towards Karlstad, peeking along the way.
Yeah.
All right. I'll roll over your vigilance since you got, no reason to do it again as you're keeping sight. And we'll say, just for the sake of expediency, that you find a couple more along the way. And a lot of it is sort of the same. Same kind of wounds, really, really violent. Very, a lot of claw marks, bite marks, but also just an immense amount of strength. Like whatever was ripping these things apart is incredibly strong and violent. And even your experience with the Night's Owl, it was quick. It was like kind of a quick gut down the middle, and then yes, they feast on your entrails, but like there was purpose to it, right? This seems just more violence for the sake of violence, yeah. But as you continue, I mean, it'll probably take you a couple hours, moving up the coast and stopping periodically, but eventually, yeah, go ahead.
Can we try to piece together anything like where we think this probably happened, given sort of like water flow or anything like that?
Yeah, roll a learning test.
All right.
Okay.
One success.
Probably further out into the lake. You would imagine, with the currents and things like that, it didn't make it all the way down to Christenham, so it's probably near enough to the shore. So I'll give you kind of a generic, generalized ping on our map here in a sec when I scroll out. But you would probably put it south of Karlstad, kind of where I'm pinging here. If you see there's like that rounded peninsula area, so near, as if the boat was kind of off, maybe a little bit off of the direction it was going. And if this was going to one specific place, because you know that this was coming from Venersborg and it was trying to get to Karlstad, and it definitely looks like it was off its course. So likely they were killed, and then the boat started drifting, and then they threw them, of course.
Did what boat do?
Just did its thing. Okay. We'll say early afternoon. You spend the whole morning doing this. A little bit of the early afternoon, but there's still plenty of sunlight by the time you make it to Karlstad. You notice that Karlstad's a bigger town than Christenham, and there's several other boats of various sizes. Your size is just, you pass fishermen along the way. You pass a couple other commercial boats, and they kind of steer, be careful here and there, but eventually you make it, find a place somewhere on the decently sized docks, probably twice the size of Christenham's, a place to tie it off. You can see that the city's in full swing. There's kind of a light rain that's starting to sprinkle a bit, but it's not too bad. Who was doing the rowing? So we'll say, who are the two that need to give me that force test? I'll go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll your force test to see if you manage to keep your strength the whole way there. All right, Sigrid's good, as is Gunnar. So yeah, both of you, you get up, you still feel good. You still got plenty of energy left for the day. Dogmoore and Sigrid, you've been here before. You've lived here before. It's changed. It's been a little time. It's nicer. There's a couple more buildings where you didn't see them before. A couple extensions to the docks. A couple extensions to some of the buildings around the docks. That the city extends further to the north. What's the plan?
Are we going straight to the bar? Or do we want to look around some? Because I'm definitely like.
Mm-hmm.
I'll help adjust your disguise a little bit. Make sure you're all good.
I totally didn't bring the dogs just for this.
That's good.
We don't have any business here outside of the bar. I mean, the only other thing I could think of.
Dogs. Dogmoore?
Yeah. The other thing I could think of doing was asking around for the missing woman. Seeing if maybe she ended up here somehow.
I could also try to find the teenager.
Okay.
And have a chat with him.
Okay.
They could all be at the same place, possibly.
That's super convenient. Okay. Anders, go ahead and roll a manipulation test as you start looking around. You know that there's, as maybe Dogmoore and Sigrid show you around a little bit, you find kind of the constable's office. You can see that there's various notifications and alerts on certain boards. There are mentions of missing folk on the boards for sure. There's actually quite a few when you go there. But go ahead and roll and let's see if you get anything. As you kind of ask around the folks that just happen, someone comes up and puts a little sketch of a person or a description of a person or the name of a person, and you see a hand. Like it's definitely a bigger police station, so to speak, than other places.
It's more than one person working at it.
Yes, there were two at Kristenheim.
Right.
Just one was doing something else. So manipulation for Anders, and then Sigrid, I'll say go ahead and you can also roll manipulation. I'll give you a +2 since you would probably know maybe some old contacts that you could talk to see if you can track down Hurston. Chuck, did yours not go through?
What did I do?
You said you wanted to ask around for...
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll a manipulation test and
Absolutely.
see what you can get. Sigurd, do you want to push that?
Yeah, I got 2.
I'm already exhausted.
Okay.
Oh no, mental. This is mental, right?
Yeah, manipulation should be empathy.
Yes, I will push.
Go for it. Okay, so
yeah, I got a success.
Go ahead and take whatever condition you gotta take. All right, so Anders, you managed to catch the ear and the attention of some sort of deputy, constable who's popping out as you're perusing this like notifications. You're seeing a lot of different reports of missing folk, and you're kind of looking for anything that suggests like her name. Was she referenced her? No. When you kind of catch that ear of the constable, you kind of throw it out there like, woman we're looking for, Miriam, give a base description that you got from Caius. They shake their head and they say no, but go ahead and add it to the list. And you get the sense that they have been dealing with a lot of missing persons.
Yeah.
And they say, did she work down by the docks? Did she have some questionable connections, which leads you to assume, like, was she affiliated with with one of the gangs that run here? Because apparently a lot of them have gone missing lately.
Okay.
And
I would probably point out that no, this is a woman from the other village,
Kristenheim,
who went missing, somewhere between a week and 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm. I said I don't think so. I don't think so. But I'll keep an eye out for her, and if you can check back in a few days if you want, and I'll let you know. But if she's not part of the the goings on, the politics down by the docks, then maybe she just went for a trip and didn't tell someone or something.
Now you said they had like a board of all of this posted up?
Yeah, there's like notice boards and stuff up here, like people missing certain things or something, this or that was stolen, or this person's missing, or that. And there's quite a few.
Okay. Can I spend some time kind of looking at that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
See if I can. Looking for her is one thing, but also see if
I'd be
I don't know.
interested.
I don't
look
have
at
any.
that board as well.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of reference, but if I could get something from it and take it to other people who might have reference.
Because maybe I recognize a fair number of people on that board, which could mean something.
Yeah. So Anders, you flag down Dogmoore, to look at the board, and Dogmoore, you recognize probably about a dozen people that you used to run with on this board. Names mainly, like some people have put up like crude sketches, but it's mostly names and descriptions, like if you see so and so, that type of thing. But yeah, you recognize almost all of them, and then there's a few others that you recognize as sort of like, yeah, I remember getting into a fight with that guy once, or this guy, or
not that they were on our side, but
and you would, between the two of you, I mean, like Dogmoore, you would be able to definitely tell that there looks like someone's cleaning house of the whatever kind of competition there might be here. Now, while you're at the constable's office, someone steps out, and they kind of, as they're walking past, they do a double take as they look at you really quick.
Mm-hmm.
And then they stop and they pause and they kind of look you up and down, and you see them suddenly start shuffling through some of the other notifications that are up on the board, and kind of like flipping underneath, like really, really old ones, like just going layers and layers underneath. I'm just going to roll a little.
Is this a deputy or
just someone who works at the office? Is to like, you look really familiar to me. I know. I never forget a face. And let me do a little roll here.
Thanks for made.
Oh my gosh.
So this is going to be observation, or no? Excuse me. This is going to be vigilance. So they're going to
minus a little bit for the disguise.
It's contested. So roll your disguise.
Did get the super fancy disguise kit.
And so I got 2 successes.
Oh
no, I'm in danger.
Three.
What?
3, Dan.
Oh my gosh.
You want to push that?
I have to, I think.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let you do it, because like I think it's the initiator who does, but go ahead and do it. It's fine. Take your condition. Push. Okay.
There you go.
And then you see, and Anders, you're sitting there. You're standing right next to him, as they yank down this like old note, and then it's like this wanted for something or other, and you see that she opens the door and calls inside, like, "Hey, can you get the sketchbook?" And so someone comes out. They're kind of flipping through, and they come across this sketch. And Andrews, you recognize Dogmoore, and you look at Rubatega, who is cleaned up a little bit, different haircut, but you can definitely tell, like, there's like
different clothes.
There's like, he's definitely rattier looking, like, and like, but Rubatega is a little cleaned up here, and you notice that wanted in questioning for a murder, and the name. There's, hang on, let's see if I have it here.
Robert.
The name is like Robert Kroon.
Mm-hmm.
And you would know that last name because you were nearby when, like, when Sigrid was talking about this kid Hurston and how his father went missing, and his father's name was Robert.
Mm-hmm.
But the good news is that the guy who brings out the sketchbook is like, I don't got time for this. Come on, this is clearly not him. Like, look how clean he looks. Look how this one here in the picture looks like shit. Look at him. Like, clean shit. Clean shit. And so he goes back inside, but she's like staring daggers, and she does one of those, like, I'm watching you type of thing. And then she goes inside. But Anders, you saw all of this and could probably conclude some stuff.
I sure wish I had rolled better and didn't have 3 conditions now.
You are one away from breaking.
Isn't that pretty regular for Dogmoore?
I think so.
Somehow, yeah.
Let's make like a tree, and leave.
Okay. So the other three, because Sigrid, you were looking around for Hurston, right?
Yes.
Okay, and you succeeded on your roll, or how'd you do? You pushed. Okay, you pushed and succeeded. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Did you bring anyone with you?
Anybody want to come with me to chat with a teenage delinquent?
Sure.
Sounds fun.
Not me.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not invited.
All right, Jürgen, Caius, you kind of go along. Sigrid, you ask around. You meet some old friends who are happy to see you, actually. A few people who are like surprised that you're back after, what they heard about you. Like, I'm surprised you would show your face here again after what you did. And eventually you're pointed to like this really tiny, crummy apartment that's over top of like this small bakery. And you knock on the door, and and like this is where Joseph's been living, and this is where Hurston's been living, and the baker's like, I haven't seen either of them in a couple days, to be honest. But you go up to the door, you knock on it, no one answers, but you do see that the door has been like kind of jimmied open. You can see like a little split in the door frame, and such, like someone really pushed in to get inside. And it's kind of like it's kind of closed, but it's one of those things where if you just touch it a little bit, it might open.
This is one of the rooms.
This is the apartment for Joseph, which is the friend that Dogmoore and Sigrid met lakeside, and Hurston, who is like the kid that may or may not be the son of somebody that Dogmoore and or Sigrid murdered,
and is in the gang that we're looking into.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely lots
The door
of
looks busted, but it's closed now. Does it open inwards or outwards?
I'm going to knock forcefully.
So you knock forcefully, and it just sort of swings open like. And
I was invited us in.
Normally work.
And you look inside, and it is a efficiency for sure. There's like an iron little stove that's probably used both for cooking and for heating. There's one really measly window. There's two like mattresses, but really small and old and crummy, sitting in opposite ends of like one room. And there's there's a handful of like little like baskets and such and crates, like stuff like they were trying to repurpose some like dock crates or barrels as furniture here and there that have been knocked over, and there's like stuff thrown about. It's just like one big square room, not a whole lot of privacy here. It's maybe 15 by 10. But you go inside
as we kind of go in, like Hurston.
You look around, he's not here. Like there's nowhere to hide.
Are there any signs of like a struggle, like any blood stains, anything like that? Torn clothing.
Okay. Roll an investigation test as you just sort of take a look and assess.
Can I help or assist or whatever?
Sure. You can roll, or you can assist and give him a extra die.
Assist.
Okay. Go ahead and take +2 mod to that. All right.
Oh, +2.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll an extra d6 to see if you would have gotten an extra success. So. But yeah, you look around. Okay, 2 successes. So,
nice.
Very good. You don't notice signs of a struggle. There's no real clear signs of blood. Some stuff has been broken, but you get the sense that was more for like people looking through things. The more you look, the more you realize like the bed on the western side seems to have been Joseph's, and there's like a couple little folded up, crumpled up clothes and such nearby. The smell in here is just absolutely violent. No, it's fine. It smells like
your black light has identified the teenage love shack.
Yeah.
So you're saying it smells like Teen Spirit?
It does. It does smell like Teen Spirit. It smells like two guys who have been living in a really small apartment together for several years. That's what it smells like. So that's essentially murder. Like essentially smells like that.
The apartment from Always Sunny, where Charlie lives. Dan Aykroyd.
You do, however,
wow.
You do, however, notice there, like one thing catches your eye. and that is there is this little floorboard that's a little charred up on the eastern side, which is like where you think the kids, the kids' bed is, and it's like the mattress is sort of on top of it, but it's been shifted from whoever was like throwing the place and looking for something or whatever, and you can see that there's like this little break in one of these things. So you lift it up, you look inside. It's like this little tiny little hitty cubby hole in here. There's a handful of items. So Yürgan, you start pulling them out, and there's a few things. First, there's money. You can definitely tell that there's a not insignificant amount of money. And you look at the shithole that you're in, and you look at the money, and something doesn't add up. Like if they had this amount of money, or if they were making this kind of money, they could definitely get a better place than this. You also notice that inside there is like a fairly big knife with a lot of dried blood on it, and then you notice like this old leather book. You start flipping through it, and it's like this old little bit of like, it's like you're reading about it. It's like nursery like nursery stories or folk tales, stuff like that. Just it almost reads, it reads more like fiction than anything. It's not like a scientific book, like something you would get in your library. It really just reads like stories and such. You just doing a quick flip, and you can see that there's, certain lines that have been underlined here and there, like little crib notes in the margins, and one specific story is getting a lot of focus, and that is about a werewolf. And it seems like he was written in the margins. There's like cure ?
What does that cure ? Seem to point at?
Yes.
So when you read, it's instead just describing how werewolves are killed. So it's like referencing like silver and such like that, but there's nothing about a cure. So it looks like he was reading, okay, this is how you kill them, but how do you cure it? And so he's like, he doesn't know yet, if that makes sense.
Oh.
But if you can trust this little nursery rhyme, silver might be effective against a werewolf.
Okay. I'll tuck that away in the brain. So there's a lot of, is it like currency in valuables, or is it like,
I don't remember. I don't know if like the kroner was in play in the 1830s or so, for Swedish currency, because we abstract it the way that resources work. But
okay,
there's a decent, there's a very nice, for us it would be like the equivalent of like a couple $1,000.
Okay,
like $2,000-3,000.
So just spending money.
Yeah.
For you.
Pocket change.
I love it.
I lost that in between the cushions.
I'll be like, yeah, I found like a few $1,000s tucked away in a cushion. He's like, and was there anything interesting?
Oh, a book. Look at that.
Yeah. Oh, maybe we can get lunch with this.
Yeah.
But that's it. You don't really, and you keep looking around, you don't really find anything else in the apartment. That's really it.
This knife, silver?
No, it just seems to be
a normal knife.
Just a normal knife. It's got some dried blood on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would be looking to steal anything from these folks.
Can I tell how recent dried blood is? Is it like
roll a medicine
still
test?
Soft at all?
Yeah, roll a medicine test. You're good at this.
Nope.
You're not as good as I
not good
thought.
at this.
It's not
I
recent.
have no idea.
It's not recent, but you can't really pinpoint exactly how old it is. But it's not recent.
Mm-hmm. Old enough to dry.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that this kid's father was missing, possibly murdered.
Mm-hmm.
And he's hiding a knife with blood on it.
Mm-hmm.
Which would generally not be a smart thing for like a criminal to do, to like hold on to
Right.
a
Well,
knife with blood.
Sigrid, you would know that his father was murdered years ago, and you may or may not know who did it and why.
May or may not.
And it likely has nothing to do with the case.
Right, right. Yeah. Well, dead end because we can't find him and chat with him, but
I want to
Silver.
keep the book.
Okay. All right.
And if you like, I can try and. I mean, I have a couple of good material things here to focus on. If you want me to try and
Do some
do
writing.
some automatic writing.
Is there anyone in the area around this apartment that we could see if we've seen people coming and going from this?
This is above a bakery, so you can ask you go downstairs, you chat up the baker a bit, and they say, they haven't seen either of them for a couple of days. Joseph, maybe 2 days ago. Hurston has been longer. They seem a little sketchy. Like when you start asking and pushing questions, they're like, okay, I can't. They seem a little. No, I can't. If you want to get anything out of them, you're welcome to roll a manipulation to see if you can.
Can I try and see if kind of my connections to those people could help?
I'll give you a +1, and then if Yürgan's helping, go ahead and take another +1.
Yeah, and I'm curious, is it like a am I getting the vibe that it's like a fearful not wanting to tell, or is it like they're friends with them not wanting to rat them out?
They look nervous when you start it. Like they look a little fearful when you start asking questions. Go
So
ahead.
who's rolling?
You can go ahead and roll it, and you can roll it with a +2. One's for your local,
okay.
and then +1 for Yürgan helping you. As Caius is upstairs doing his automatic writing.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can go ahead and roll your check too.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I failed.
Okay. Did you want to push?
Manipulation just doesn't want to go off tonight.
No, it really doesn't. I already have one condition.
Okay.
Get on my level.
Am I able to push it?
No, only the person who rolls it.
Wow.
Why the
Dice are not
boundaries
friendly
being
tonight.
harsh?
Yeah. All you really get is that they seem afraid. Like, but they're like, nope, I'm not going to tell you anything else. That's it. I'm done.
Is
Here,
Karlstadt somewhere that we could
have a
buy
bear
healing?
claw. Yeah, you would be able to.
Do we have any
Yeah.
resources left that we could buy ourselves some healing?
You can do that. And
before we go
you could
home?
also burn capital. Don't forget.
I'll push.
Okay, go ahead.
Then
I
I'll
feel
push.
bad.
Yeah, I can go ahead and push too.
I did save back some capital
Perfect.
just in case. So
Actually, Copeless. I'm feeling pretty guilty this day.
Okay. Jeremy,
Pushing worked.
you go through everyone's downstairs. You're writing. You're having this strange sense of deja vu. And then when you read the paper that you just wrote, it is identical, word for word, indentation, stanzas, all that kind of stuff, word for word to what you wrote yesterday.
Oh my.
It is the script of Twilight.
Oh,
It's a self-insert for what you wanted to be like when you were in high school. And then Sigrid, they eventually they break down and like, okay, fine. Yeah, we saw some of them regiment folks here. They were looking for Hurston. I guess the boy's been, I don't know, he's been missing. They don't even know where he's at. They're looking for him. They thought, I don't know. All right, just get you don't know what it's like. You haven't been here. Like it's crazy down there. You can't cross them. Even the tiniest bit of crossing gets you. Like they'll steer all my bear claws. They'll burn the place down. No. So.
Does the missing line up with any of our other storylines of our mystery?
What do you mean?
Like when he went missing, could it have been because he? So he wouldn't have been on the ship because they would have put him on the ship.
When you ask, they said they'll specifically say that the regiment folk was last night. They were like that. Then when they broke
They were
into
there
here,
last
they were
night.
there last night looking for him. All right. And that's all you're gonna get out of the baker, and that's probably all you're gonna get out of the apartment. So Caius come downstairs. He's got his new scroll. He's got a little bit of a white look on his face.
Get that. Now they even take out the writing from the other day, and like I tried to focus on your friend, the boy, and it's just it's the same word for word. It's the same. It's together. I don't know what I can do to help you with this, but it's together somehow.
Should we meet up with everyone else at the bar?
Probably.
Okay.
Dog should go to the bar.
Take a pastry for everyone on the way.
He's like, oh, come.
Yeah.
You got to buy those.
I'll run up to the apartment above and source some funds for some pastries.
Okay. Okay. Corruption. But no,
right? No corruption
here. Okay. So
borrow those resources.
So
Yep.
you get some bear claws for everybody. And one by one, probably by about, let's say, 5 o'clock or so, happy hour time, all of you start to congregate towards the docks. Because the rust water's down there. Let's see, who's really good at vigilance? Who's got just like high basic skills in vigilance?
I'm at 5.
Okay.
For vigilance?
Yeah.
5. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm technically at 6 if you count
Same.
logic and vigilance.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just looking
logic and
more for the
vigilance, I'm
skill.
at 6.
Okay.
Oh, skill, I'm at 1.
I would say
vigilance-
Skill at 1.
okay.
Vigilance by itself is 2.
Okay. Anyone have like 3 or higher? Okay. Dogmoore, we'll say you notice it first, and then without having to tell anybody, Caius and Anders, like you notice that there's a ship, decently sized. It's not like a huge oceanic sailing ship. It's roughly the same size as the barge, and there's kind of little, there's the little railing that goes around it. And as you all are kind of lingering and kind of waiting for everyone who was, wandering around doing such and filling in each other what you learned, you notice something like the size of it. You thought it was a cat at first, like maybe it was just a cat or a rat. And you look over and you're like, wait, what did I just see? And you look over, and sitting on the railing, smoking a pipe, is this little creature that is maybe 1.5 feet tall, well dressed. It's got a pipe out like the one Chuck's got going right now on the stream, and it's just sort of scanning and looking as like there's a handful of these workers that are cleaning up and stocking some stuff in the barge. Looks like the barge might be getting, like it just got in and it's getting unloaded and such. And they're just kind of scanning around. They turn around and suddenly they lock eyes with. They get all nervous, like, and they look. I even got a little handout for you for this one. Looks like this. I'll show it to you guys. You see it now? If I hit show players, okay.
Awesome.
Yes.
Looks like that. So yeah, just kind of a really big nose, really big ears, pipe, well dressed, big old hat. And
That is the ugliest elf on a shelf I've ever seen.
Right.
who wants to make a learning test?
I'll do that.
Go for it. Okay.
We got 1.
That's all you need. This is a ship gnome. Is what it is specifically. So you would know a few things. You would know that ship gnomes are they live their lives on ships, and they're like good luck charms, so to speak.
Ship.
Yeah,
no.
ship.
Okay.
With a P.
Oops.
With a P. Every time you take a dump,
I was thinking, wait, is this a PG-13 stream?
you look down at the toilet, and there's your gnome. Oh, good.
Floating on a log.
Oh, God. Like, hello. No. Okay. So ship gnome. Good luck. They're like kind of like they're kind of kept secret they're Vaesen. It's a Vaesen. Not a violent one or anything like that, though. It can get a little territorial sometimes when it comes to like shit. Like they are kind of synced with a specific ship. They come like likely they're born out of the lumber that was used to make ships, and they have a tendency to just kind of, you know, make sure things are in order. And if a ship is kind of attached, if a ship gnome is sort of attached to you, that's a good thing. It doesn't reveal themselves to humans, but barks orders and such and things. Yes, you definitely don't want to know where shit gnomes live. That's entirely. They don't look as clean as this one does and well dressed.
But the hat is still huge.
The hat is
It looks a little more like
enormous.
Dogmoore when he's not in disguise.
A little bit.
Oh, maybe that's Dogmoore's dark secret.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'll go say hi to
Secretly,
it.
I'm a really big ship gnome.
So you walk up, and I want to stress, you're walking up to the railing of a ship, busy dock. You know that Vaesen don't reveal themselves to humans. You have the sight, and so you go up, and they're like staring you down, like eyes just getting bigger, like he can see me, kind of like shocked at this. But you walk up, and he sort of turns around a bit, and kind of leans.
Hey there, friend. What you smoking?
You can see me.
With my own two eyes.
Oh, you want to Tuesday's children, are you? Okay. And he I don't know what the hell pipes. You know stuff about pipes.
Yeah.
So he pulls out this little pouch. And he kind of shows it to you. It's okay. It's not bad. It's a bit on the it's a bit on the light side for my taste, but it's not bad. I don't know why he's got an Australian accent. I can't do Swedish. I'm sorry. I just can't. It sounds so stupid when I do it. I sound like I'm insulting the entire Scandinavian people. Like,
Yeah.
I carry a dark Cavendish myself, but my friend here, I think, has a far superior weed.
He's
That's why I got my dark Cavendish.
He seems a little okay. Share alike, if you ask me.
Yeah.
You know, I'll open my tobacco pouch. It's like,
Okay.
guides.
So a couple people walk past you and sort of look strangely. First at Anders, because Anders was there momentarily by himself first, but then Gunnar comes over, and now it kind of looks like it's Anders and Gunnar that are sort of talking to themselves, which is fine. The second it looked like just Anders was just talking to the rail of a ship to just passersby. But yeah,
Exactly the point.
Yeah. And so you share a smoke, and two of you. Oh, well, look at this.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this day got suddenly more interesting. It did. Eh?
I'll give that. So maybe you know, you might have seen some things around here. Where have you heard anything about the ship came ashore up on the other village?
Kristenheim. Yeah.
Probably even have a name.
No, I heard rumors. It's sad, if you ask me. It's always sad when a ship goes under. I don't know if one of my kind was on it, though, to be honest. Yeah. If they, we stay with them, start to finish.
That would be tragic.
Thanks for the bits, Adam. Thank you.
There we go. But specifically, we're looking for werewolves in the area.
And he kind of, why would you be looking for them?
Because they are the ones that murdered everyone on that ship and caused it to go under.
And you see him, like his eyes just sort of flutter past you a bit. And when you turn and follow his eye line, he's staring right at the rust water. I may know something or two about werewolves.
Yeah.
Maybe. We all don't know everything about one another. I don't want you to get thinking.
Listen, no. I absolutely. But I was just taking the fact that, sitting here watching the going ons, you can watch unobstructed.
He's nodding. He turns around really quick, and he looks, and there's you can see there's this one ship worker who's slacking off a little bit, and he just yells like, "Hey, Get your back into it. And like the guy just kind of looks around a bit and then goes back to work. Oh, just so hard to find good help these days. Young people just don't want to put any hard effort into anything.
I'll agree to that.
Yeah, he's all, I might now.
Is there, you want to share that thing or two with us, or anything we can do to make you a little more obliged to share that thing or two with us?
Roll a manipulation test, and since you gave him some, some leaf here, take a +2 on that. Yeah,
sure thing.
He seems to be a bit. That's cheating, Jen. You can't just say everyone. You have to literally list every single person's name. That's just how this works. It makes Twitch think we're the chat is just way
makes us think we're real popular.
Like, oh, look. Okay. He's like, yeah, there's something. I know one thing or two. I know that if you're looking for werewolves, well, strangely enough, you're in the right place. And he just kind of points his pipe over in the direction of the rust water. There's a scary looking woman in there. Big old ugly scar. Don't much care for her personally, but she's like, she's let's say alpha something, whatever the terminology is. I think that terminology didn't come into the 1970s, so that probably wouldn't happen right now, but that's effectively what there's. I just a leader.
Yeah.
What do you know about werewolves?
I don't remember what all you told me last session.
I mean, you know that there's different kinds, in that some of them can transform at will, some of them they can't, some of them it's lunar in some ways. So there's like different ways, depends on a lot of different things. So you really don't know a whole lot.
Okay.
So you're going for werewolves, but you don't know how to fight a werewolf or deal with a werewolf. They're not very nice. Like, they're not going to be like, we're not going to have a nice, polite conversation with them. Oh, we are here.
Yeah.
They're just you're going to talk, and then they're going to rip your face off. So it's going to happen. Not me. I just go invisible. It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the idea. Okay, you won't get your face ripped off, and you get your face ripped off. But, I can tell you a few things here there if you want, but you got to do something for me, of course, you know. Give it a take. So old Thea Houseberg, I think's her name. She lives in, she walks in that there Rustwater. She's got herself a fancy little medallion, you know. It's like an on brand, like a little swirler thing. Wears it right around her neck. I'll tell you it all now. You go and you do whatever it is you got to do. And if they don't tear your faces off, I would like that little medallion.
So you want us to go get the medallion from their leader?
Yeah, I'm just saying, if you're going to go and engage with them, I reckon you're going to do something. Like, are you going to like trade with them? What is it you're looking to do here?
Yeah, we're looking to, find out what happened on the ship and see if there's anything we can do to keep it from happening again.
They're werewolves, man. They're just they're bloodthirsty. They're just gonna do this and that until anybody does anything that might interrupt their dominance, and then down they go.
Yeah.
So, but I can tell you a few things. There's ways to neutralize them. There's ways to, bring them back and such. What?
That'd be useful info.
Or if you could.
Yeah.
I like it. I've seen it before. I know what it does. And it could help me with a bit of what I'm doing here. You don't need to know the details, but it would definitely suit me. So, we've got an arrangement then. I'll tell you what I know.
We can get that locket.
Oh, perfect. So listen, you want to stop a werewolf?
Yeah.
You got to do one or two things. You got to kill him, or you got to reverse him. Okay, if you really like him, you probably want to reverse him. If you don't like him, you probably just want to kill him. That's probably easier if you ask me. But you gotta go. If you want to kill them, you gotta go pierce their hearts with silver. Get a sword, guns, whatever.
Yeah.
But you gotta pierce the heart. Some people, they're like, you just shoot them anyway. Nope, it's gotta be the heart. Sometimes the neck works, but it's gotta be a heart. Then, most people don't know this one. If a werewolf were to face, and this one's kind of like, I want to stress here, this is my preferred method. Not that I've got a preferred method, but it's gross. It's werewolf stuff. Don't judge all us Vaesen because of, well,
yeah.
We're not very happy with them. They're like the black sheep, but they eat the sheep or something. Anyway, then you got to take your thumb and you got to stick it right square up the bum. But if they find themselves one of you pregnant ladies, they go, feasting on the bun in the oven, it'll just take them right back to their human form. Easy peasy. Not for the bun in the oven, but for the werewolf, And then even easier, and this is again young people. They just don't want to read, and they don't want to listen to the elders. All you really got to do, simple. You just get a werewolf and a light of the full moon, and you just shout their real name at them. That's it. They reverse. They're easy.
Really?
So easy. It's a caveman can do it. But hopefully,
Yeah. Well, you've given us a lot. This is very helpful. Thank you very much.
I'm very helpful now.
So that's for a werewolf. Do these work the same if it's something other than a wolf?
Oh yeah, it's not really the animal that matters. It's just really the transformational process,
Just shout their real name and back
Is
they
it
go.
just the bun or the oven that reverses it? Or
Well,
both?
I can't say I've got personal experience, but me mum, she was a tree. She, in the process of being born, she feeds us some information here and then. We hear rumours, but I think it's just the bun. But if you could, I don't know how you humans work and whatnot, but if you can stitch up and soak up and give them some painkillers or something, maybe the oven's good too. I don't know. You're all strange to me. I don't know how.
That's fair. Yeah.
I came from a tree. You came from each other. That's just gross. It's just messy.
Take that. I'll take that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't get your name.
Oh, Becca. Yeah.
Becker. It's
Becker.
great to meet.
Becca with an R, Becca.
Becker.
Yeah.
Becker.
Yeah.
All right. It is fantastic to meet you, and I thank you for that information. And if I get that talisman, it is completely and totally yours.
If I've got to say, I object to the use of that word.
If, my apologies. When.
There we go. Confidence is what I like to hear.
When we get that,
Mm-hmm.
it is all yours.
No. Well, you, sir, are a gentleman and a scholar.
Thank you.
The cap. I gotta go get these folks back in line. And you see him just turn around and just start screaming. And when he yells, he's like super loud and booming. And everyone's just like jumping and getting freaked out a bit. Even some people in the docks are starting to get shaked up a bit. Like, what the hell was that? But yeah, you see him just start to walk along like the railing, like just perfectly. And he's like, he's like a foot tall. Yeah, he's a pretty small guy. But, okay. Toodles. And that's it.
Okay. Well, that was the information we needed.
Yeah, I'd say so. Not that it makes me feeling more confident about anything.
Well, it doesn't. But now we at least have something. I mean, if we can learn their name, that'll give us some level of protection.
Where
Speaking
are
of
we
protection.
at in the lunar calendar?
Okay. Good question. Go ahead and roll a learning test and see if you know. I like doing that, boss. makes me feel like no matter what I say, it's bright and happy. I literally just talked about eating a fetus, and it felt like,
Caius is not comfortable with that new
No.
information.
I'm sorry, Jeremy. It literally is. It's in the lore, man.
I know.
It's so creepy. There's some dark shit in here. You're not sure. Definitely wasn't one last night or the night before.
I think
Sorry,
like
Chuck, you were gonna say
mid-conversation, be like, "Oh yeah, you got one of those, don't you?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely won't be investigating that option. But if we can learn their true names.
Well, we probably want to keep that a secret.
Yeah, but if a lot of these werewolves were former gang members, there should be public records. Maybe Dogmoore and Sigrid just might even know it.
No, I mean he's got an oven and a bun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a young man that wants to know about a cure. And
there's some concern.
I should have stayed at the cabin. I'm a bad husband.
Hey, look, on the bright side, I'm not going to make that joke.
That's okay.
There's just no
I
bright
deserve
side.
it.
There's just no bright side.
There wasn't going to be a good end to that joke. Okay.
Said.
So you talk with Bicker for 20 minutes or so, 30 minutes. Very friendly, surprisingly. Yeah. I mean, to you all, but not to the ones that he was yelling at. He was brutal, just brutal and mean, just saying all sorts of stuff. Anytime anyone looked like they were taking just a break, jumping down there, just shouting at him. And you can still hear him shouting every now and then. Everyone's jumping around. But we'll say it's closing in on 6. It's the sun's starting to, it's there. It's not. It's up there. There's a little bit of time left. But what do y'all want to do?
How many hours is it back to town? The other.
I mean, if you just beelined it, without really stopping, probably I don't know, maybe it'll be a couple hours.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Just the thought of not being in Werewolf Town at sunset. But I don't know if that's an option. I mean, we could find a place to stay for the night.
But that still put us in Werewolf Town at night.
It does. And the werewolves do have a boat.
And we should get our hands on some silver.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
So from the very beginning, actually, Gunnar, you actually have the name because you have the name of a smith, a decent quality smith in Karlstad, named Hampus Palmgren.
Right.
Yeah,
Yep.
you actually
That's
have
right.
that name. Strange enough.
So if we can get some silver.
Okay.
Yeah, it may be an opportunity to use well-traveled, maybe, but
The fine quality of your nails has led me to you. So, can you make me some instruments of destruction made of silver? Based upon your nails, I'm thinking.
Okay. If you want to seek out Hampus Palmgren, that's fine. We can do that. We'll say you track him down just before he's closing up. You start asking, guys, silver weapons that you can make us and such. And he's confused, obviously.
Ooh, or silvered. Could we just get, I think some of us already have daggers. Could we get a blade silvered?
Okay. It's not going to be cheap. Silver is, and it's fairly precious, I mean, I got a lot to do on my plate. I've got so many nails to make. You wouldn't believe how many nails.
Snap my finger for the money man to step forward.
We would just like to say we've heard nothing but the greatest things about your work, and this may even prove to be an ongoing relationship of sorts, and we would love your consideration to maybe allow us to be a patron of your services.
Why do you want me to put silver on your weapons? That's...
Well, I mean, we could always have them, make up a whole bunch of silver nitrate shotgun shells and we can go all modern on him. But actually, it's not a bad idea. How many do we have a scatter gun, or how many of us have pistols?
Yeah, does anybody have a gun?
I don't have a gun. Let me check the group inventory.
Looking at the shopping services, there's
I'm literally just an old man right now.
We do have a revolver.
Okay.
With binoculars.
Yeah, there's basically there's pistol or revolver is one type of weapon, musket is another, and rifle is the third. Those are the gun, the gun type weapons. You do not have a cannon.
So if we had a blunderbuss, we just loaded up with a handful of silver coins.
Okay, Caius, roll a manipulation test.
Okay, I'll do that. And thankfully,
take a +1 mod because gunners are giving you a hand.
Excellent. And I've got a thing that lets me substitute my inspiration for manipulation.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
And his +1 will negate my -1. So good times.
All right. So.
Can you manipulate?
You only have one?
No, that's weird. I don't know why it did that.
All right.
I should be rolling 8.
I'm gonna say, why would you sub for something you only have one in?
Yeah.
No, I should be rolling 8 on that. I don't know why it did that.
Let's take a look. So you're rolling inspiration, you said?
Yep, inspiration.
All right, you do have one condition, but that wouldn't account for...
Yeah, his +1 should... Okay. Maybe it's because...
I'm hitting it.
There
Oh, you got it?
go.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, I figured out what it was.
Okay. So he's going to put a price on this. So what we're doing is now we're doing a negotiation, right? Like unlike the other one, this is more of a like, okay, how much is this going to cost? And he's like, silver, huh? And you want it on a couple different weapons and such. Your success and his success will cancel out. So he's going to say, it's basically going to be like availability 6. He's like, this is not the cheapest thing for him. So,
well, is there a substantial bank of any size? Because literally, we could just go to a bank, cash out some capital for silver coins, and here's your silver.
Okay. Yeah, and if you do that, we'll say like that'll probably cut the price in half. Like that's, and so we'll say then like it's just labor at that point, and so it would be like a 3 availability.
And you guys agree, or how do you feel about coding? I think like an actual silver weapon is actually quite weak. So it's silver coated bullets, or or silver daggered.
Well, a silver bullet would be fine. I mean, it's about the same. It's same as like using lead. So it would be just fine if we got some silver bullets. Or
we only have the one gun. We're
do.
going to need more than the one weapon.
Yeah.
So
dipping silver for our daggers would at least arm more of us. I am all out of capital.
Who's got capital?
I saved back 2 capital.
Okay. You can still roll resources to get.
Sure I saved 4.
I started with none. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Caius, you can still roll resources.
Okay.
Yeah. Capital is just what you burn to get auto successes. Like you still got the chance of just getting more. So go ahead.
How often can you roll resources?
It's whenever you're trying to buy stuff. So
oh wow.
In this case, since you're shopping, it's like it's just what you've got.
But we can all help if we have resources.
Yeah. So anybody who's got resources, anybody who's there, you can go ahead and do it.
What is up with?
All right, let me
maybe
doing that.
Resource spend is just buying the bags or a bag of silver coins.
Well,
that's
it could
a direct.
Just be paying it all up front, or
I'm popping into your character sheet, Jeremy, to see what's up. So you're trying to roll resources right now, correct?
Got one success.
Rolled fine for me, and you got one success off that. That was the game master roll right there. That was your roll.
Okay.
So you got one success there. Joe's got one. And you said you had 2 capital. So if you burn one of that capital, Gunner, you're at 3, and that's enough.
Okay.
So and that'll be enough. He's like, I can't, it's end of the day. I come back tomorrow and I'll take care of it.
So what will that do for us?
So who's got weapons? Like, what kind of weapons you got?
A knife.
A couple knives and a revolver. I think that's about it.
Okay. So
6 bullets, 2 knives.
So we'll say we'll do, let's see, like maybe 2 weapons.
Oh, I got a dagger. Yeah.
We'll do 2 weapons, and we'll do like, let's see how we'll randomize it a little bit, and you'll get 7 bullets. You get 7 bullets, and you get maybe 2 weapons out of that. Okay. All right. So you've got a plan to come back tomorrow, supply some silver coins and such,
We make it.
or nuggets or whatever the changer gives you.
And we're leaving our weapons there tonight.
He's not working overnight. You can drop stuff off in the morning, so
Okay,
you can do
just
that
making
too.
sure.
Okay, so when I spring the combat on you in a couple minutes, you can have your weapons.
Right. My thoughts exactly.
All right, so you're agreed. You're going to come back and you're going to see the blacksmith in the morning. Does that mean you're staying in Karlstad tonight? You're staying in Werewolf Town?
So
Yeah, I think that's our only option. I really would hate to get caught out at the water
Sure.
water at night. And then even when we get there, we got to walk back to the
either town is Werewolf Town at this point.
Okay. Well, that means you're also going to have to get somewhere to stay.
Room. Yeah.
Gosh darn it.
Yeah.
Everything costs money.
That's how life is. So if you're looking, you can just get like, it depends on how fancy you want to get. Like, actually, no, I think it's just because you're filthy rich, right? Jeremy?
Yeah, I'm at the max.
Yeah.
At this point,
You won't have any problem. Never mind. I was wrong. You're gonna have no problem finding a place to stay. So, but yeah, so like all you would need is like at least one to get something, and with being filthy rich, it's easy enough for you to find a place to stay. Not the Rustwater. Just call me Jeffrey. When did my grandmother get here? So is there anything you wanted to do in the night, or do we want to fast forward to the morning?
I need to heal somehow.
That's going to take some time,
no.
it's going to take you're going to have to invest more resource core into it. Like, you can purchase healing. You can totally do that. It's just, it's more resources, more capital that you got to burn.
Yeah.
Like, it's sort of up to you.
Actually, does anyone else have mental conditions? We can spend a night drinking. And,
I do.
I've got hecka mental conditions.
Yeah, I've got 2.
Yeah, let's break out the booze. I've got a bottle.
There we go.
Let's
As
pull,
do I.
Let's pull up the rules again so we can get it right this time. So
I think we bought some at the beginning.
okay, so you're doing. Let's see. We want to do. You're trying to heal conditions. None of you are broken, right?
No.
Not yet.
Okay.
We have 2 bottles of booze.
All right. So looking. So you're not going to do. So Sigrid's not going to do any sort of test for this. This is just you all.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think each of us, if we have alcohol, can inspire with it. Is that how that?
Yeah, I'm looking. I was just looking for in the heals. Let me look at alcohol. What does alcohol say? All right. Booze. Where's booze? What's it called? What do y'all have?
I just got it listed as booze.
Like fine wines or something.
It's liquor under gear.
Liquor. Yeah. That's what I
Okay.
have.
Yeah. Okay. So what that does, is you can use. So when you have that as a gear effect, what that means is that when you go to roll inspire, or when you go in the case of fine wines, inspire and manipulate, you get the bonus towards the roll. So you still have to do the check. It just gives you a bonus. It gives you extra dice for the roll. Oh, I didn't mean to put that over top of everybody.
But we can also, as a service or establishment, we can spend an overnight accommodation, which can then do some healing because we spent the night doing it.
Yeah, but seeking medical attention at an establishment can only be done in lieu of regular activity. So like it's meaning you're having to invest time in doing this. Like it's not like it's not like D&D where you just rest for the night and everything goes away, or even Zweihander's with its peril condition, you just sleep and you're
Just having a sleepover.
But services is only a scene, so it's not the whole day.
Okay.
So like a shelter or a hostel is an overnight accommodation, an upscale hotel, overnight accommodation, and food that heals one condition.
Okay. So we'll say you'll be able to heal one condition. So all of you need to do this heal is what you're saying?
Yeah, I think everybody's got a condition right now, right?
Okay. All right. So you spend a night drinking. You buy booze at the local ABC liquor or whatever it is, and do you drink back at where you're staying, or maybe you hit a non-Rustwater pub, I assume, unless you want to go to the
just
Rustwater.
take it back to the rooms and have
Okay.
Yeah.
And so then all of you can go ahead and heal a mental condition then by morning, right, Melissa?
Okay.
Yes.
That is pretty awesome.
That means I can push another roll tomorrow.
And then if somebody else needs something extra, we can always do a scene where one person can get the extra.
Who's got more than one mental condition that could use it? Dogmoore. Yeah.
So one of
we
them
will console you about your weird wife while we.
I really thought I was doing a good job. Like, I've been working really hard. I made like so much money, I was like making a nest egg and I should have been home more. But I did good, except for when I wasn't doing good. And now, somebody's going to eat our baby, I guess. I'm going to go lay in the corner now, you guys.
Oh, no.
That's so great.
I'm a good person.
Okay.
I'm sure you are.
All right. So
and somehow that heals my mental trauma.
Somehow that makes
From
you
two
better.
of them. Yes, from two of
Somehow
them.
that makes you better. You're quite literally drinking your troubles away.
Yes. That's healthy.
I don't know the
And then-
messaging here.
And then we all get to get rid of one condition if we stay at a fancy hotel for the night.
Okay.
Is that a physical or a mental?
It's mental. I think that's what she was doing. She was doing mental.
Yep. Now I have two of them.
Physical, we'd have to go to a healer, right?
Yeah, because the booze is specifically like for inspiration and manipulation. The other thing would be a heal test. So, right, Melissa, you're the one who should know how to do heals and stuff because I didn't.
Yeah, I'm
read it in a
just
while.
looking in the book under services and establishments.
I know. That's what I was looking at too. But I don't think you can't do both. You can only do one or the other. So you can't dedicate all that time to healing both. It's either one or the other because all of it is time that you're dedicating. So if someone's looking to do physical in addition, you're gonna have to spend more time the next day to do so. Okay. So let's move to
Because there is.
My problem's
Yeah.
mental.
Good.
So
Okay, let's
Go
your
ahead.
problem's mental. Oh, Dan. Okay, so morning comes.
Insight is always helpful.
You all wake up with a wee bit of a hangover, but maybe a healthier outlook somehow, I guess. But you head over to your blacksmith. You get your two weapons silvered. It gives you seven silver bullets that would be usable in your revolver, and grab some food in the morning. And it's like mid-morning, 9, 10, 11 a.m., somewhere in that range. What do you want to do?
Go get our
Well,
silver weapons.
No, I just
Yeah.
said that. You went
Oh, sorry.
there in the morning. It didn't take too long.
So which two got their weapons silvered so we know
Okay.
who has things?
Well, that's up for you all to decide. Who
Not
wants
it.
it?
Yeah.
I don't have any.
Who has the highest combat? Because it's not me.
I have 6
I've-
total.
I've got a 5
Or
total.
3.
I've got a 3.
Sounds like Secret and Hunter then.
Yeah, I think. Well, and who's got anything good for ranged combat? Who gets that pistol?
If
Not
I
me.
had
Not
a
it.
pistol, I'd be shooting at 6.
I
My
have
shooting would be 3.
for both.
Yeah, same thing. 3 for both for me.
Caius has got the gun.
Yep.
All right.
-1 right now.
I don't know.
Okay, so Caius has got the gun. Who has the daggers?
I've got
you
one for
and
sure.
Sigrid.
Okay. Cool.
All
All right.
Okay.
Dogmoore just barely has himself.
So he's finishing working late morning, probably takes a couple hours, and you still got most of the day, a little bit of time in the morning left, and then all of the day, a little overcast, a little bit of chance of rain maybe, but not bad.
So names. I mean, how can we go about figuring out true names of these? I mean,
Someone's going to have to go into that bar.
yeah.
So is the bar only for those people, or that's just where they all tend to hang out?
It's a bar, but that tends to be like their headquarters. So interpret that as you will. But you saw people coming and going when you were.
I could try to venture in under the guise that went by to see my little teenage friend, and he was missing. And do they know anything?
Question about how the site works, though. Do Vaesen know you have the site like we know they're Vaesen?
That I'm not entirely clear, but with the, I think it's more along the lines of like if you're staring at them when they're attempting to be invisible, or
Right.
and like you're staring like with Bicker, like that will reveal it for sure.
So not just like radar, like you walk in and a whole bunch of werewolves turn around because they sense something. Okay.
No.
Right. When I saw the pig people, they didn't realize that I had seen them.
Okay.
Oh, the pig people.
The pig people.
All right.
So, yeah, I think
Distractions.
some of us need to go in. Definitely not Dogmoore.
No.
Yes.
Definitely not.
Although, I mean, if these people are troublemakers, and it sounds like they would have the temperament because of their wear nature, right? They're all known to hang out at this one pub. Maybe local law enforcement knows who they are. Like, maybe we can start there and just start asking, hey, who gives you problems in this town?
Yeah, I'm sure they have the answers. The problem would then be, if this gang is so proliferated and so dangerous, who in law enforcement works for them?
Mm-hmm. That's good too.
So you guys do have one name, whether or not it's their true name or not, obviously, but you do have a name of a woman, Fia Ostberg.
Yep.
Ooh, I know how we could check. If she's a native here, if there's a local church, she's probably on a birth roll.
And you also, I think you also know that there's kind of a military sort of vibe going on. The name, like she came up with the name, there's some sort of thing about her possibly being in the military. You've heard a couple of these rumors, I think 2 sessions ago. So you know a little bit about that.
Is this town big enough to have a local newspaper?
Yes. Karlstad's even bigger than Kristenheim.
Nice. I would like to visit the newspaper office and visit their morgue of old papers. Maybe if there are a lot of fights or public disturbances, it'll be listed.
Okay.
This sounds like something good Dogmoore can do that's not going to the bar.
Okay. So Dogmoore can go with you. Okay. What are the 4 of you doing? So Anders and Caius and Yürgan, Sigrid.
Do we risk going into the bar? Or do we do the gunner's idea and go check out the local church and check out the birth rolls?
I would want to have poked my head in. I think I can I think I can do it.
I mean, you'd have some leverage at the church at least.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would be less suspicious than other random out-of-towners popping into a bar that
the bar, not the church.
Doesn't seem to be a, hey, everybody come here kind of bar.
The thing the thing that's got me worried is you're looking for a kid that had a bloody knife and a book on how to kill werewolves that he was writing.
And they came after him already.
He was reading. It was like fairy tales he was reading.
Okay. I mean, if that's what you want to do, the rest of us can hang loose on the dock in case there's sudden cries for help.
feel like we came all this way. We got to go in the bar.
Yeah, we definitely got to go in. Yeah, let's do it then. You'll go in
third.
and the rest.
Okay.
There's an amulet you got to try and get to in theory.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I don't know how the hell that's going to happen.
we'll resolve a few of these things and then we'll break for the night. So Gunnar and Dogmoore, you go to the newspaper. What are you looking for specifically?
It's a small enough city that I think that any local disturbance of the peace will probably get first or second page news. I want to look through and see if there's any fights or if anything has been broken up at that bar in particular, or like who the local rowdies are. Like, and just get a list of names. Just start writing down names, and then we can figure out who is who and if they're real names by looking at some other sources.
Okay. Roll an investigation test.
Especially nights preceding full moons.
Okay. Roll an investigation test. Take a +1 mod because Dogmoore's there helping you out, and we'll see what you get.
Okay. And I got a second mod because of another one of my abilities, and maybe I can pull out. Well, if there's Vaesen related stuff, we already know they're werewolves, so whatever. So here we go.
Go for it.
Wow, 3.
Okay.
Nice.
Camera may have froze up a little bit on us.
Yeah. We can still hear him, but
yeah, we can hear you fine.
We'll just go with the voice. We're almost done. Okay. So there's there's all sorts of stories about fights, like going back years, actually. Like there's tons of information about like the docks specifically around like in Carlsbad have long for years. Okay, we just lost.
Yep.
Okay.
Did everybody drop or just me?
No, it's just you.
Just you.
Oh, sorry guys.
Let me fix this really quick here.
It's been the night for bad cameras.
I'm just gonna do it on the fly so that we can talk. But yeah, for years there's been all sorts of information. You also, you know a few names. You see a person named Dogmoore at a certain point. You see a person named let's see, a person named Sigrid at some point here.
Oh, they just stand out.
Read stories about this like unsolved murder of this young such and such. But then it looks like things were turning around a bit, like about a little over a year ago. It looks like things are starting to finally die down. Like the local police were getting things under control, but then some new people moved in, and then shortly thereafter that there's information about the regiment. The name Fia Ostberg comes out, and how she's wanted and questioned, and like, but apparently there's like one specific writer who's just calling out all sorts of different constables by name, saying they're too chicken shit to actually confront them and such. There's 2 other names that you see as well. One is, and they appear to be brothers. And like, there's this little story about how Fia and these 2 brothers, apparently all of them ex-military something or other, and whoever wrote this story apparently didn't survive the writing of the story. But there's these brothers named Christoph and Glenn, and the last name that they have listed is Berggren. Christoph and Glenn Berggren and Fia Ostberg are the 3 major names.
Cool. That probably took many hours to sift through all of that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's most of your day for sure. All right.
Christoph and who again?
Christoph and Glenn Berggren. All right, and then so someone was going to the church. Was that right? Did I hear that right?
No, we talked about it. We just
talked out of that.
It.
Okay,
Yeah.
So you're going to the Rustwater. Okay,
Yeah.
So the rest of you are going to the Rustwater. You head inside. Lunchtime. You go in. It smells like like a sweaty bar with tight tables. Like there's a lot of people that are just kind of right up on each other. There's a good 20 people in here crammed around a handful of tables. When you first walk in, there's all these kind of circular tables, and a couple people are sitting on crates. A couple people are sitting on chairs. When you walk in, a couple folks look up at you as the light kind of comes in. You look off to your right, you can see a bar. There's the big burly guy. He's serving beer, and there's a woman who's kind of running stuff here and there. When you step up towards the bar, you can see off to your right there's a staircase going up to a second floor. There's this fairly large table, really nice looking, kind of lacquered wood. There's a fairly big chair behind it. Everyone else is sitting on crappy half broken chairs and crates. And there's this fancy looking table with this fancy looking chair with cushions and such. No one's sitting at it whatsoever. And you look back and you see like this place is crowded. Like people are right on top of each other. But when you walk in, they look at you and expectantly, like waiting, like what's your damn order? Let's get to it, because they're busy.
Okay.
Lunch rush. So you
and a loaf of bread.
Okay. So you get some basic food, some cheap booze maybe, and you find a place to squeeze in a bit, either at the bar or at one of the tables. And okay, no problem.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Dogmoore, roll a disguise test.
Well,
Dogmoore's not there. That's right. Dogmoore's got it. My bad.
And you're muted, Dan.
Sorry about that.
Or at least you're
That's right. It's Sigurd's that's there. No, Sigurd's fine. Sigurd, do you care if you're recognized? Are you trying to keep a low profile? Are you doing like one of these things, or getting a milk mustache and just leaving it there just so that no one recognizes you?
I don't believe I need to, unless I've completely misunderstood my background.
So as you're sitting there at the bar drinking, you can see, you're listening. There's looks like just a lot of dock workers, rough and tumble types. Someone just bumps into the back of your stool, Sigrid. And
Excuse you.
You turn around, and there's this big ugly dude. Like, excuse you. And then he looks over at the bartender, and he's like, I didn't realize we served chicken shit turncoats. Hey boys, did you realize we served chicken shit turncoats? And a few folks around kind of look up. You kind of look over at you. One or two people kind of sneer. You recognize a couple of faces, actually. You're like, you recognize not friendly faces either. One or, you're going to see them. Like, yeah, we don't much like these types around here. Yeah, these your new friends around here, right here. And he's kind of pointing to like Caius, like who's.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
All I gotta say is watch your back around this one. Be careful. She's a bit of a tattler, if you ask me.
I would, as you know, it's been many years since I've been back here, and I wouldn't make a habit of it, but I was worried about Herstrom.
Yeah, I don't. You justify however you want, you freaking turncoat. You rolled into the cops. We got a code around here, okay? You don't rat on each other. The cops is what it is, and you're lucky. You're lucky this is a place of decency and civility. Meanwhile, in the corner, like two people are like fighting each other and like punching and such.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so
In a civil way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he does one of those things where he just leans over and just spits right into your beer. Whet your appetite. And then he starts to move away.
And I'm going to totally drink the beer unfazed. Like,
Oh God.
this is
Wow.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Oh.
Roll a force test. That's just gross. Oh, it's a big hoggy loogie. What are you doing?
I was going to give you mine. Why did you drink that?
Just buy another for crying out loud. You drink it just fine. Yeah, you drink it, and people kind of look up at you. They're like, Oh.
Do they have to make a force test? By
I throw up all everywhere.
We just start having like sympathy gags, like.
The bartender's like, oh, I could have just got you out of the whatever. It's fine. But yeah, okay. And so that sort of passes, and you're left here. You've got a basic description at some point of Fia. She's a like mid to late 40s. Has a scar in her face. Definitely tough, kind of salt of the earth type. Do not see her here whatsoever. And looking at that little alcove with that nice, you would imagine that might be where the crew sits, and they're not here.
Okay. How do you want to play this, Sigrid?
I'm gonna try to have a conversation with the bartender.
Okay.
And okay, so now that we got the shit talking out of the way, still missing kid. Anybody concerned about missing kid?
Roll a manipulation test with a -1 modification.
Sure.
Because some people they know about you and your little reputation and don't like you. And then
one success.
Okay. And they're like, and so the bartender's like, "Hey, ain't Herstrom? I don't know what he did. But he's got fear. All pissed off as he does. So it's best he doesn't turn his face up around here, because she's just gonna rip it right off." So she was spouting something mad the other night. Like,
literally rip it off.
She gave him some sort of gift, something only, the most select or the most important or the most inner circle can get, the most trusted, and he just spat in her face and something or other. I don't know what she gave him, but it must have been something important. I don't know.
Gave him a werewolf, possibly. I guess.
But he's.
Thank you much.
I think you might want to finish up the round and get A here. And you look over your shoulder, and there's like people that are just like playing with knives on the table, just staring you down, just like the knife thing from Aliens. Yeah. Anything else you want to ask before you get approached again?
That was it for me. Anders, did you want to ask anything else? Or Caius?
No. I mean, I don't want to directly ask any questions about the gang or their leader, because that's more direct attention than I want to deal with. And I don't think the only other thing here worth asking is about, what did Sigrid do to piss you off? But it's not something I would be interested in doing.
Plus, Sigrid can just tell you at some point.
Yeah, I was going to say that would be rude to.
Yeah. So, what do you know about her?
Yeah, that would be
this
rude.
Dish. Okay. Yürgan, was there anything you wanted to try to get?
Not in particular that they hadn't already.
Okay. So you finish up your drinks.
And no one in here looks like brothers.
No.
Not that we actually know that, because we're doing two.
No,
things,
I mean,
but
if you just sort of shoot the shit, and probably part of his ex, you start to glean that they're kind of her right and left hand, so to speak. So none of them are here. And Herstrom did something, like rejected whatever gift or something that she gave him, and now they're pissed and they're not here. And you step out into the sun, a little bit of overcast, you get hit in the face by a couple stray raindrops. And I think we'll go ahead and end it here and finish up the little mystery as things are coming to a head next week, I think. But yeah. Okay. Let's do so. I mean, do we want to do, I don't know if we did this on air before, so let's do this really quick. Let's do our XP stuff. So if we haven't done this on air before, what you do is I ask them a series of questions, and if they can say yes, they get a point of XP. And then if they want, when they level up like their skills and their talents and get new talents and stuff, they it takes like 5 XP to do so. So let's just do this really fast. Then we'll back out with our plugs and then we'll get going. So all of you participated, so all you get 1. Did you confront any Vaesen? I'll say, I mean,
Yeah, the
offering
shit guy.
tobacco count.
the shit gnome, yeah. Confront. Okay. I'll say, how about this? I'll say that'll get you 1 for 3, because confront, I think, implies like
Conflict.
yeah, and 3 you identified one. So we'll say 1x, for the first
Oh.
question and the third question, everyone gets a 1 point each. So you're at 2 so far. Affected by dark secrets. I'm gonna say Dogmoore, yes, and Sigrid, yes, at the end. Caius, I would say yeah. I mean, learning a little bit about what might happen to the bun in the oven. Sure. Take risks? No, nothing really yet. Learn stuff? Yes. All of you can take that. Develop something for HQ? No. Extraordinary actions? I would say no. Okay.
Drank the loogie.
That's not extraordinary. That's disgusting. That is disgusting. Oh.
Yeah, that was
Something
something.
right past
It's
extraordinary.
where you just throw it at them right in their face and they're blinded and then you
Right.
throw the hook and like they don't see it coming and you've already taken one out.
Yeah, that seems like a real bad idea.
It's more fun. All right. So let's end it up. Adventures in Lollygagging again. That's what this is. We'll be back next Monday to conclude this mystery. And let's see. Tomorrow, catch Chuck and I as we're going to be over on Grim and Perilous Plays playing another Free League game, as I think we should be completing our Alien Destroyer of Worlds game. Yeah. Chuck, what do you got on Wednesday?
Wednesday, we got Mutant Crawl Classics. If I'm correct, you're there.
Yep.
And Jeremy's there, and Dan's there.
And then Thursdays over on twitch.tv says Zweihander RPG. You've got me and Melissa and Brendan and Jen who are in the chat as we're playing Zweihander over there. Fridays on the same channel, Chuck will be running it this time.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll have Jeff, you're there, Dan's there,
Yeah.
Jen and Brendan are there. So yeah, we're going through a bitter harvest. So if you haven't seen that starter adventure, this is your time to see it in action.
And then Saturday night,
We got Goodman Games, for Danger Stranger.
Okay. Perfect. Bert, where can they get your podcast?
Bluemagic.com, BLUMAGIK will get you to the Of Steam, Steel and Murder podcast. New episode soonish. In 5 months.
Soonish. That's an update. Things have changed.
new,
Okay. I like it. Jeremy, where can they get your podcast?
Plewdcast, PLEWD cast for fun nerds talking about comic stuff.
Okay. And then final plug for the Zine or Zine. I keep saying Zine. Zine. Dan Dies in the End.
Drive through RPG.
Drop
50
in the link
cents.
there. Only 50 cents. You get this wonderful artwork and all sorts of cool RPG content that
Get it.
a lot of us work
Get
on.
it while it's cheap, because once
Beauty.
that POD comes through,
Yeah.
we're going up to full
Regular
price
price.
with it.
All right. And so that's it for tonight then. So thanks everybody who hung out in chat. If you're watching this later on VOD or on YouTube, thank you for thinking of us. Come check us out live sometime. And that'll be it for the night. I'll put us on the end screen, find somebody to raid. So good night, everybody. Thanks for joining.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.